order up to model, managerial insights, and summary. Some managerial insights we can obtain using the order up to model. The first one is that better service requires more inventory at an increasing rate. So if you want to, for example, increase the fill rate, which you see in this chart, you will see that the expected inventory is going to increase at an increasing rate, right? When the fill rate approaches 100%, the rate is much steeper than when the fill rate is smaller. And also, if your standard deviation of the demand is growing, this is also causing an increase of inventory, expected inventory. Another observation, when lead time is reduced, so here lead time is higher and it is reduced to the left, you will see that the expected inventory will be reduced, especially it will be significantly reduced when you have high fill rate expectation. Let us not forget about the pipeline inventory. This is also a significant inventory, especially if lead time is long. In this chart, the diamonds, the blue line, show the expected inventory level, but the squares, the red squares, show the inventory position, which also includes on-order inventory or pipeline inventory. And of course, if the lead time is very high, this is actually becoming a significant and the most significant part of inventory. So if you have holding cost and you have to pay it for, or somebody in the supply chain always has to pay it for the time the units are in transportation or on order in general, then this one has to remember about the pipeline or on-order inventory. Walmart is an example of a company that achieved competitive advantage through dramatically improving its inventory, particularly inventory turns over the last 2 decades, with reductions in lead times playing a significant role. To improve suppliers to distribution center lead times, they built electronic links with suppliers to ensure there is no time wasted in order transmission and processing. Through these links, also they share demand data with suppliers to ensure suppliers know about the sales as quickly as possible. They can actually they can actually share the information about point of sales data very quickly with the suppliers. So the suppliers, even when before the order is issued from Walmart to the supplier might have an idea that the order will be coming because the products are selling, or maybe not. Walmart also designed distribution centers and all logistics so that inventory spends as little time in the distribution center as possible. One idea is cross-docking, which is a way of moving inventory directly from inbound trucks to outbound trucks without ever putting them on shelves. This is an idea that helps save reduce the lead time and process at least some inventory without putting them on shelves. Another way to improve lead time was for Walmart was to use their own fleet of vehicles and organize them and optimize them so that the lead time or the time from distribution centers to stores is also fast. So with all those improvements, Walmart was or is often able to sell much of its inventory even before it has to pay for it. It has to pay suppliers for the inventory. So some final remarks about the order up to model. Order up to model is of course appropriate for products with random demand but many replenishment opportunities, something that has a long shelf life and therefore can be replenished multiple times when the obsolescence is not an issue. Expected inventory and service are controlled via one number, right? This order up to level S. The higher the order up to level, the greater the expected inventory we will be holding, but also the better service. So here the main trade-off is between the holding costs and the quality of service, right? And the key factors that determine how much inventory is needed is the length of replenishment, lead time, right? The longer lead time, the more inventory we usually need. The desired service level, again, fill rate or in-stock probability affects it, but also remember demand uncertainty. If you have more uncertainty, higher standard deviation of demand, then there will be more inventory needed. And also, this model shows that when obsolescence is not an issue, then optimal service level is usually quite high, even if you try to minimize mismatch cost or maximize profit. This is something that was not the case in the news vendor model. In the news vendor model, the obsolescence was, of course, a big issue. And then when we were trying to maximize profit, we actually had quite low service levels. In the order up to model, we very often have very high service levels for whatever objective that we assume.